Открыть дверь!
Okay, we're in a very dark and dingy part of London here, just checking out Metro last night, and we're joined by Dmitry. Dmitry, obviously, creator of the Metro universe and god of all that is. Thanks very much for joining us. First question is going to be the obvious one. What do you think of this, really?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing because me being the god behind this entire thing, I imagine things and here they come real, you know, and that's quite an unforgettable feeling when you just get a slight idea of a world and then you got 70 people working years and years to make it real and then it finally becomes real. So that's definitely a very strong emotion, and I like very much what I see. I think that from the visual viewpoint they did greatly. And well, that's a game that I would play.
Do you feel a bit more comfortable now coming into it? I mean, first time through, it's a whole new experience. Now is it just you're fairly relaxed?
You're speaking about interviews, or are you speaking about playing games?
Playing games in Metro generally.
Well, you know, the first game was very scary, and I did never go through it till the very end. When my younger brother joined me and we sat together at home playing, I would be courageous enough to play it through, but not alone. So I never made it through the entire game till the end. This one is it's a bit less, maybe scary, but more dramatic. And I made sure that it's more dramatic and more psychologically, whatever, realistic. And it's more about human beings and less about monsters. And if it is about monsters, it's about the monsters that we are. So I think that this game will be easier for me to play.
Well, I think certainly that's the interesting part of it. I mean, we're talking about any sort of post-apocalypse place, it's always the human reaction to it. And certainly the idea of this very diverse range of societies based underground in the different stations, I mean, that must be creatively very interesting. So you can basically put what you want into that.
Absolutely, and the plus the story of Metro Last Light is basically a story of a civil war brooding in the tunnels and the stations, city-states of the Metro of Moscow. And Metro of Moscow is the last thing that remains of the world. You know, the entire world was reduced to the tiny scale, caricaturistic scale, if you want, of the subway of Moscow. And there is no other humanity but the humanity that lives there. So, And these survivors are prepared to fight the World War IV, even if the only world that is left is the world of Metro of Moscow. And of course, with such things and with the fractions that remind us of Nazis and communists and the great powers and ideologies of 20th century and 21st century, such as the United States, definitely have lots of historical allusions and lots of historical references and real-life references. So this game will feel very real.
What's been the development process? I mean, what's the sort of relationship between yourself and the studio? I mean, how does that work?
I created the entire plot. It was my idea from the very beginning, all the story. Like, I created a general plot outline, then they cut it into pieces and like kind of fit it onto the gameplay process. Like you take a texture and you fit it on the model, same way. Then they create some provisional like dialogue, and then I rewrote it completely from scratch. I made sure that it's filled with characters that are not NPCs but living people. They got lots of dramatic stories to tell, and even if you're not listening to them, they still are there. They still are discussing their hopes, their dreams, their frustrations. They remember their past, and it's filled with living characters. And the entire story is very psychologically driven and motivated. So I made sure that you don't feel that it's a game you're inside. It should be as serious as any dramatic show on American TV, like, I don't know, like those at Showtime or HBO show. And it's even more realistic. It should be as real as the real life. So unlike the usual American post-apocalyptic game, it's not playful. It's not. It is fun, but it's the dark fun, you know. And you're not doubting for any second, in spite of all the monsters that you see around you, that how the world after World War III would look like.
And you're saying about the sort of dark fun. I mean, how far is that sort of mature angle pushed? I mean, have you got a line that you won't pass in terms of having some sort of hope for humanity?
You know, if you see that trailer that has just been shown, you see people like executing each other, burning each other, and cremating, and you see kids suffering, and you see basically a totalitarian society and different totalitarian societies about to clash with each other to wage the last war of this world. So the game is pretty dark, it's pretty realistic, it's as realistic as CNN reports from Rwanda might be, if CNN had reported from Rwanda back then. I think that there is no really a line that I wouldn't cross, you know.
Games coming to completion, going in for submission. Is this a full stop for you in the universe and certainly your collaboration, or is there possibly more to come?
No, actually, we hope that it will not stop here. I think that a great further development for the franchise would be setting a new game in a different location, because Moscow is great, and definitely the knowledge of the Eastern European, Ukrainian team of the post-Soviet reality is enormous. But I would be really curious to see a Metro game set in New York or Italy or UK. And we actually have a book franchise called The Universe of Metro 2033, where dozens of authors from across the world are co-creating this world of Metro 2033 in their own places, like coherent stories set in different locations across the world, written in different languages. Some of those books might become basis, literary basis, for some of the new video games, and that could be great. The purpose here, again, is not to create a product, but to create a world.
Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.